The first card I pulled for you is the Four of Wands. Now I asked the tarot, what is this full moon illuminating for you? And the Four of Wands is a card of celebration, like big celebration. It's like getting all your friends together for a wedding or like a big birthday or some other like monumentous occasion. It doesn't even have to be like that, for you. It doesn't have to be like this big occasion. It could be that like, you just launched a new program with your business, or you just started your YouTube channel, something like that. You have reached some sort of milestone and it's worth celebrating. So this card is telling you that it's really important to take the time to pat yourself on the back, or do way more than pat yourself on the back. When I plan a goal or a big project or something like that, I often break it down into little steps, small milestones, you know what I mean? So you might not be at this point where like you've finished the entire project. You might not be crossing that finish line right now, but maybe you've made it to the top of the first peak, or maybe you have completed like one of those milestone breakdowns. I don't mean breakdowns. I mean, like if you break your big goal down into a series of steps, right? It's important to celebrate each step, each thing that brings you closer to where you ultimately want to be, because a lot of our dreams take time to achieve. Like I look around sometimes and it's really easy for me to focus on the things that still need to be done, on the projects that are not finished. And that can feel really overwhelming. What the Four of Wands is telling you is to focus on the things that you've already completed. Look back, and you can look back 6 months, you could look back 6 weeks, maybe you want to look back 6 years, I don't know. Look back and see how far you've come, because the thing is, you're never going to be completely all the way finished with everything. That would be boring, because then it's just like, what do I do next? Celebrate what you've accomplished, celebrate what you've achieved, tell your friends about it, tell your family and loved ones. Let them celebrate you. Let them tell you how awesome you are. I'm telling you how awesome you are. And, if you want to respond to this video by like leaving a comment with something that you've achieved or some milestone that you've attained, or maybe it's like a whole series of milestones, right, that you've forgotten to celebrate, tell the world about it, and celebrate it in a way that feels really good and resonant with you. Maybe you want to treat yourself to a pedicure. Maybe you want to go get ice cream with your friend. Maybe you want to book yourself a trip to Bali. I don't know. That sounds great to me. So the Four of Wands is telling you that this full moon is shining light on your need to celebrate. We all need to celebrate the things that we've accomplished. It's very important. All right. The second card here is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is such a sweet knight. Like he is a kind, loving, nurturing healer, a good friend, a creative soul, an artist. And he is just like one of those people. I call him he because like, in the tarot, we have feminine and masculine energies and archetypes, but this person, this knight, it doesn't have to be a man in your life. It could be an aspect of you, or it could be a person of any gender in your life who is creating and holding space for you, who is encouraging you to to open up in a way that feels really good and healing. And that paired with the Four of Wands, I really think that like this full moon for you is all about just kind of like tapping into the positive, loving, supportive energies that are around you, letting your friends, family, and loved ones kind of just like celebrate and uplift you, you know? And not only that, but this Knight of Cups in this position is saying that like, this is how the universe is asking you to amplify the energy of this full moon in Sagittarius. And you may wonder what that means. By amplifying the energy, I mean like, you know, full moons happen all the time, and there are energies in this universe that we don't completely understand, and they're at play all the time. And we can work on manifesting, and we can meditate, and we can pull tarot cards, and whatever it is that we like to do to kind of like commune with that divine energy. But we also have to show up in the real world, right? We have to meet the muse, right? I forget which author it was. It may be Hemingway, perhaps it was Elizabeth Gilbert, who says like, you know, I don't wait for the muse to appear. I, you know, have a date set with them every day at like 8 a.m. or something like that. And, you know, this card is telling you like, this is how you're being asked to show up and meet the muse there, right? To just like, make sure that you're making yourself available. You know, are you creating time and space in your life to let these blessings flow? So that is something that I would, you know, say, ask yourself about. Or is there a person in your life, like perhaps a healer or a creative mentor of sorts, who is appearing in your life in like maybe a serendipitous way that you feel called to work with or open up to, or maybe collaborate with on some type of artistic or creative project? But your logical mind is just like, oh, I don't have time for that, or it doesn't make sense right now. This card coming up is saying like, yes, this is really important, and this is actually what you should be focusing on, right? Sometimes if things seem like they're too easy, I know like in the past I've been like, oh, well, that can't possibly be true because it's too good to be so. But sometimes it really is, and it's worth investigating, right? So if there is a way, or if there is like a person, a teacher, instructor, mentor, healer, I mean, the Knight of Cups is very often a healer, that you're thinking of working with, or can help you get to that next level, or even like help you celebrate yourself, right? Because that can actually be difficult for some people to do. You know, especially if you're very like a workaholic. I'm a recovering workaholic, so no judgment. But if you're one of those people, like many of us, who tends to always focus on what's next, it might be uncomfortable to just be like, yo, I did that. Like I accomplished these things. Now I deserve a rest, or I deserve to nourish myself and celebrate and just like feel really good in that before I move on to the planning phase of my next project, before I bury my head in the next stack of paperwork, right? So ask yourself, like, who in your life is trying to help you do this? And if it's you, then it's time to start really like listening to that inner voice. Speaking of inner voice, that brings me to our final card for this full moon reading in Sagittarius, and that is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is such a lovely card. I really like her, although I gotta say she is quite mysterious. The High Priestess is a really strong card of intuition and psychic abilities. She might be saying that right now, if there is like any rumbling, I don't want to say rumbling in your gut because that sounds like you're in digestive distress, but if there is like a feeling within you that you should explore a certain avenue, even if it doesn't make sense in your head, this High Priestess, especially showing up with these other two cards, the Four of Wands and the Knight of Cups, is saying like, yeah, now is the time to go for it. For sure. Because the thing about your intuition is it never lies. And even if you're not, even if you don't consider yourself like an intuitive person, the thing is everyone has intuition. And it's just really a matter of pausing and listening and tapping into that, right? You know, like I'm a professional tarot reader and, you know, an intuitive advisor. And part of the reason that people come to see me and work with me is because they're so focused up here in their intellectual mind and really trying to figure out what the next to-do list is going to be, or what the next project is going to be, or, you know, something like that, that they're kind of just like stifling their intuition a little bit. And one of the things that I really like to do is help them pause and create that space so that their inner voice and that their truth and what really needs to happen comes out loud and clear. So during this full moon, if you are a person who likes to do any kind of ritual work, or even if it's just a matter of lighting a candle, lighting some incense, and sitting and meditating for 5 or 10 minutes, I would really encourage you to do that. Take note of what comes up. Pay attention to the people in your life, the people who are especially like trying to help you, maybe offering assistance, or, you know, maybe they're just there and they tend to show up in the most serendipitous ways. Really keep your eye open for that, because there is some magic happening here and the universe wants you to celebrate you. So if you like, leave a comment below. Let me know what you're celebrating and how you want to do that. And hey, if you would like to support me and support this channel, please click subscribe, click on that bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. And of course, share this video with your friends, your family, your boss, your dog sitter, whoever you think might benefit from it. And if you're interested in any kind of one-on-one energy healing work, like the Knight of Cups, check out lunaphoxx.com. Thank you so much for watching, and full moon blessings. Bye.